The Tundra Rally is the best truck that Toyota makes. This is going to be a little bit of a different review. I've been living with this, so I'll give you guys impressions on what it's like to actually live with on a day-to-day basis, and we'll do some very light off-roading so I can show you guys the MTS system that this comes with. Let's get right into it. Under the hood is a twin-turbo 3.4-liter V6 that goes through a 10-speed automatic. Fuel economy stated to be 17 around town, 22 on the highway, with power outputs being 389 horsepower and then 479 pound-feet of torque. I'm trying to hit 500,000 subscribers before the end of the year. I'd really appreciate it if you'd help out with that. We got some desert rain last night, which is always kind of icky, full of dust, so sorry the truck's a little bit dirty. But anywho, we've got the LED lights down below, and then you've got the Heritage Toyota coloring there on the front grille here, fog lights and parking sensors. Altogether, it gives the truck a more distinctive appearance. I'm not sure if I'd choose gray for the coloration on the Rally package, but it works. Tire and wheel setup is 265 by 70 by 18, which is just a little bit under a 33-inch tall tire. You can fit 34s on most Tundra packages, and for the 26 model year, you can now get this with the 3-inch suspension lift as an option to fit even bigger tires. You'll notice that Heritage Toyota logo continues. It was also on the center wheel cap, and then look at that. The mirrors are nicely painted all over. Now this is coil sprung in the rear with Bilstein shocks, and kind of making this basically just a TRD off-road but fancier. But here's your side profile, and you can see that the silver on the exterior of the wheels definitely pops. When it comes to key fob features, we have our lock and unlock. You got the drop down for the tailgate, Toyota logo there on the front too. LED bed lights, looks like this one has the composite bed, and then we do have an outlet in the bed too. Overall spacing is great. It's pretty typical of a full-size pickup truck. It's kind of why you go full-size. And then you can just press a button to actually raise the tailgate up. Get the 3 strips for the tail lights, and then you guys can see we've got the TRD exhaust with this with the black tips, and then more parking sensors in the rear. That is going to cap things off for the exterior. Let's now check out the interior. Soft touch on the armrest, you've got a little bit of yellow stitching, and then yellow and orange stitching with the seats. This is one of the coolest parts of the Rally package. The seats perforated down the center too. Being a full-size pickup truck, we got plenty of space in the back, storage pocket. We've got some cup holders with USB ports and a full outlet, and then there's plenty of headroom. There's also, if we pick up the seat, storage underneath. Keyless entry for up front, and let's check it out. Blind spot monitoring with the mirrors, and then we've got more of that yellow stitching and soft touch on the door panel. The mirrors do power fold in too. 1380 is the payload capacity with this truck. Front seat has more of that stitching. You got the cool design in the perforated section of the seat. It's not going to pop up on camera very well, but it is power adjust both lumbar support. The passenger seat's also power adjust both lumbar support. To the left of the steering wheel, you've got stuff like your auto stop start, your heated steering wheel to turn on the outlet, to turn off some of the safety tech rather. And let's fire up that twin turbo V6. Now this actually has the same steering wheel as the TRD Pro, which is another cool feature. So TRD logo, you've got the marker at the top. Adaptive cruise control on the one side with your lane departure, and then on the other side you've got your volume and voice command controls, and then just regular stocks in the back. Partially analog, partially digital gauge cluster here in the center, and you guys can see I've been averaging 19.3 miles per gallon, so you know, not bad for a full-size pickup truck. A lot of that's been relatively high-speed highway driving. This has a 360 camera system, really good resolution, and I like how you can switch to the off-road view as well. But yeah, having a giant screen with all these different camera views is very useful. As for the rest of the infotainment system, shortcut bar there on the side, it's quick to respond, and it's just a giant version of Toyota's infotainment system they have in other cars. More of those Rally colors on the dash, and then we've got our climate controls down below, dual zone climate with this, heated seats, and then you've got your volume control with that big knob. You got a button for the 360 camera, stability control, rear locking, differential, and then the tailgate drop down and raise function. Auto hold and parking brake, and then we have our shifter for the 10-speed automatic, and then some storage right next to that. Now, like I said, this is kind of a TRD off-road in a way. So we do have a part-time four-wheel drive system, 2-speed transfer case, but this also comes with multi-terrain select and crawl control, so it has all the off-road goodies. Again, Bilstein shocks too. Before I forget, trailer brake controls and fancy pedals. Now the center console has more of that yellow stitching, plenty of storage inside, some USB ports, and then the little window opens. But yeah, nice trim on top. And then you do have the setup where you press that and the entire window in the back rolls up and down. Definitely a nice feature. This is a bit over $62,000 for the pricing. Let's see how this performs. Before we do our little off-road fun, let's quickly discuss how this drives on-road, what it's like to live with. And I actually got to do a really cool on-road test with this I went and reviewed some side-by-sides down in Richfield, Utah, which meant that I did a really long highway commute and then kind of through some country roads. I mean, country roads right here too. But I gotta say, I love how Toyotas perform on the highway. It is, even though this doesn't have double paned glass or anything, it's pretty darn insulated. The seats are comfortable over a long trip. They're not quite as comfortable as, like, I'd say Ford and Ram are a bit better with the seats still. So something that Toyota could work on in terms of making the truck a little bit better, but still really comfortable seats. The suspension's comfortable, passing power is great, all that's good. And again, it got pretty good fuel economy, all things considered. And I would say, taking everything in that this truck has, I'm really impressed. With the American truck makers, I feel like I have to go and spend more money with them to get something that feels adequate. Whereas Toyota, when you spend all the money on a Tundra, I'm just going to be honest, it seems kind of like a little bit of waste, especially like, you know, the capstone they have. I don't even know if they're still going to make a capstone. I haven't seen one in a while. I think they maybe still will. But yeah, the capstone and platinum are really nice, but it feels like complete overkill. Whereas like this feels like such good value. 360 camera, it's got all the right features. 360 camera. It has, you know, the rear glass that opens and closes. By the way, Toyota's the only one that does the full window, which is really cool. And, you know, 60 grand's not cheap, but I mean, you look at Ram and Ford and Chevy, and at $60,000, you're not getting a lot of truck. You're getting their mid-trim, which, yeah, this is technically built off of a base model, but when you look at the features this has, it is anything but basic. So the value is really appealing. And so I'd say Toyota's entry-level truck game, whatever you want to call it, is seriously impressive. So we're going to pop it into four-wheel drive high, not low. Accidentally shifted to low. It didn't do it, obviously. And then we'll just pop it into MTS here. I don't know if I have options for the MTS. Oh yeah, cool. We'll just do dirt because that's what we're in. So yeah, obviously we're on the little off-road stuff here now, but anyways, this is a fantastic truck on road. I really enjoyed daily driving it. And you know, as someone who reviews cars for a living, I would at least consider the Tundra before I go and buy a truck from another automaker, because of the value proposition with the Tundra, where you can get a lot of truck for not a crazy amount of money, and it's still very capable. I mean, the payload's respectable. It's not highest in class by any means, but it's good enough. Towing capacity, same thing, it's good enough. The space, it's, again, the Tundra doesn't really win in any category, but it offers good enough in most categories, and then it is less money than the other trucks in the segment. And I know people are going to talk about the engine reliability. You know, I trust Toyota to work that out long term. In the short term, yeah, there might be some quirks, but long term, I trust them to work that out. Now, I will say, this is I'm not aired down, obviously. It's a bit bumpy. Because this is basically a TRD off-road, just with a slightly different exterior, pretty much with the rally package. It's got those Bilstein shocks, which are firm, but they're very durable. I mean, there's been examples of older Tundras with Bilstein shocks that have like 1,000,000 miles in the original shocks. It's a pretty impressive system. So I just wanted to show you guys the MTS with the part-time four-wheel drive system here. And again, those tires you guys saw, they are not aggressive at all. So we'll see if this even makes it up. We're going to take it purposefully slow. This is a 33-degree incline, by the way. Sorry, we got to switch to there's not really a good, this isn't, I don't know if I want sand. Let's try sand and see how that works. Okay, I am not in reverse and the truck is going backwards because I have zero. Okay. Well, we're gonna try that again. The truck was sliding backwards because the tires had basically no traction. Let's actually do, let's do another one that's a little bit less steep and then come back to this one if we can get the less steep one. Our best foot forward, we're now in four-wheel drive low, rock mode, MTS, and this one is 30 degrees instead of a 33 degree, so it's still pretty steep. The MTS is trying really hard. Okay, we are not getting anywhere. Let's see if crawl control can save us. It's a good thing I did this before I did the 33 degree, because this is a lot lower stakes. Yeah, it is. These tires are that bad, guys. Okay, let's take it out of crawl control for a second. Let's actually, I think, oh, I did not want to do that. Okay. Let's give that one more go. Let's increase the speed a little bit with crawl control. And this is one of the things, like with Toyotas, one of the first modifications you typically want to make is just tires if you actually do off-roading. I did better than crawl control, apparently. Well, maybe it'll get... Okay, let's stop for a second. Let's try the rear locker. We are literally pulling all these stops in today's video. Okay, we have the rear differential locked. We are in crawl control. Let's see if this Tundra can make it up this 30-degree incline. And again, if we had better tires, this would be a cakewalk. Yeah, I don't think this is gonna happen. I'm not trying to make the Tundra look bad. It's not the truck, it's definitely the... Yeah, this isn't gonna happen. Okay, well, overall, I'm very impressed with how this truck drives. It definitely could use better tires. Let's unlock that. But let me guys think about the TRD rally package overall. I think that this is gonna be a pain. I think that it's a really cool package. It's a really fantastic value. And with that 3-inch lift that you can now get from the factory, you could put some beefy all-terrain tires and you'd fly up this hill. No, you'd have the suspension, the ground clearance and everything to fly up this hill, no problem.